Hello everyone. NLSAT is the 3-year LLB program started by National Law School of India University, and it is one of the most competitive examinations for 3-year LLB. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how do you prepare for GK for the NLSAT exam. Again, GK is very important to the examination, not just in terms of objective questions that come in GK, but also GK goes ahead and shadows every aspect of the exam. And we're just going to learn how that happens. In part A, there is 75 marks that you can gain, and in that, around 25 marks is just GK, which means that 1/3 of part A is based on GK. Just before we move forward, for people who've not seen the previous videos on to the introduction to NLSAT, there are two parts to NLSAT. There is part A and there is part B. Both part A and part B are for 75 marks each, and in part B, this is subjective, but whereas part A is objective. In objective MCQ based paper, there are at least 25 marks or more or less 25 marks allotted for GK questions, right? But it's not just GK is just not important for these MCQ based questions. GK is extremely important also to go ahead and understand the passages that come in part A, because a lot of it are coming from editorials of newspapers, but also GK plays a very important role in the essay of part B, wherein a lot of current affairs situations can come, and you can use the analysis that is being used in editorial to go ahead and inform your opinion in part B. With that, you have to understand that the way to go ahead and ace GK is not just to go ahead and do rote memory learning. You also have to be curious about the situation. You also have to be consistent with reading your newspaper daily, but also read it with a lot of clarity, which means that don't try and mug up facts, try and understand these facts and let it go ahead and satiate the curiosity that you have within you. Now, again, GK is not just general knowledge, which means that you don't have to go ahead and learn anything and everything about the world. It is much more contextual, which means that it comes in, if a passage is there, the GK is somehow going to be related to the passage that is going to come about. A GK will not come in isolation, which means that there is no separate section for GK. GK is going to be one of the questions in the passage based and is going to be connected to the passage, which means that there's more emphasis on going ahead and doing GK, which comes from recurrent themes, right? So some of the more important themes like law, polity, international affairs, economic institutions, awards and literature, and science, environment and global reports. These are mostly the topics based on which passages come, and therefore GK is also something that is going to be influenced by these themes in the first place. Now, how do you go ahead and identify important topics? This is very important because you need to segregate what's important and what's not important. A good way to go ahead and attempt any kind of aptitude-based exam is not to learn anything and everything under the sun. You have to go ahead and segregate what is important and what is not, which means that you have to go ahead through the previous questions. There have been three sections of this examination, and in that you can go ahead and note the themes and not isolated facts, which means that when you see passages, go ahead and see what are the themes from which this passage is coming from, and it is those themes that will also go ahead and inform your GK preparation. So if you go ahead and see past year question papers, there have been 3 examinations of NLSAT that have been held till date, and then you can go ahead and note what are the themes, the basis of which these passages are coming from. Now, based on these themes, you can go ahead and make a pattern. You can go ahead and classify these topics in these kinds of themes, and then you can recognize patterns as to what kind of questions of GK come from these themes, and you can link these themes with current newspaper coverage, right? Now, a good way to go ahead and how past year question papers can help you better your GK preparation today is that when you see a GK question come in the exam, don't just see the question and the correct answer. Also go ahead and see what other options are coming within the question that has been asked, which means that even though if there's a question like who won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2023 and the answer is Narges Mohammadi, the idea is that you also see other options, which is Malala Yousafzai, Maria Ressa and Mukwege, which means that these are all human rights activists, right? Which means that to some extent, the exam is emphasizing certain themes, certain patterns, certain social situations, and these are these themes that you need to recognize, right? Examiners go ahead and set up the passage more or less based on the similar themes as past year, and that is why once you go ahead and see what is the exam emphasizing, it's much better for you to recognize the patterns and then do your preparation accordingly. Now we are going to see how to read news the right way. When you go ahead and read a newspaper, you don't just read, but you also try and interrogate the news, right? You go ahead and ask what happened, why does it matter, and what are the implications. Which means that right now there is Israel-Palestine war going on. You don't necessarily only need to remember historical facts about the war or historical timelines. You also need to understand what are the things that went ahead and instigated this. You need to understand what are the implications of that. You have to understand the implications of that on governance and society at large, but also international relations, right? Try and connect these topics and don't read them in isolation. This is a bit different from how CLAD GK works, because CLAD GK is, I would say, a bit more isolated. There's not a lot of room for going ahead and like reading context and all, but I think in NLSAT that becomes primarily important. So keep in mind, you need to do active reading. You also need to underline and annotate, and you can Google whatever the unknown terms that you read in the editorial. And the result of that is that you don't only recall facts, but you also understand the context within which this fact has become extremely important to us. And that is why do not go ahead and do rote memory. Always go ahead and see the context of it. Now, we've also prepared a list of sources that you can go ahead and follow so that your GK preparation is the best. Obviously, your primary resource is the newspaper, the Indian Express and the Hindu. Both of them are excellent newspapers for editorials and also for your one-liners. This is something that you're supposed to do daily to go ahead and build a very good aptitude for the examination. When it comes to monthly compendiums, we have the NLTI GK Gazette. Fun fact, 22 questions out of 28 in NLSAT 2025 came directly from the NLTI GK Gazette. I think this is something that you should definitely buy, and it is something that really helps you with revision and quizzes, but I think it's also prepared by people who've given this examination, and therefore the probability of it being much more accurate and much more relevant for preparation goes exceptionally high. But on magazines apart from coaching centers, could be ETW, Caravan, Frontline, The Wire. These are all good magazines, gives you very good analysis, gives you all current information. This is very important for context analysis. For economy and science, you can have Economic Times and The Scientist. But also if you're someone who likes scrolling the Instagram, I think Faye D'Souza's platforms and InShorts are something that can really help you. This is something that can also feel more fun and entertaining. And if that's something that works better for you, I think you should definitely check out these. Moving on to how to make notes. Very important again, because a lot of times we emphasize making notes too much, or sometimes we also de-emphasize them. Questions are multifold, which means do I make online notes or do I make offline notes? I think offline notes is something that you should always make, simply because when you write something yourself, the power of your recollection becomes better. I think that is why visual memory and recall is so much better for handwritten notes. But when you talk about digital sheets, it's also very easy to quickly filter and revision through these sheets. You can also put these sheets on AI algorithms and then ask them to make a cheat sheet for you, or you can ask them to go ahead and make MCQs for you, which you can go ahead and use for revision. I think that's something that digital sheets can help you a lot with that. So we have created something of a template of a sort which can really help you with your GK preparation. So you can have one-liners, MCQ style, you can create columns, and then you highlight recurring themes, and then which will actually help you in recalling these things so much better. So you write the topic, you write the fact, you write the background, and you write the source. I think this kind of thing makes so much easy to filter, but so much easy to recall through visual memory in the first place. Now we know we're living in the age of AI, and therefore using AI smartly is something that is so non-negotiable for us at this point of time. A lot of you are using AI. It's important that you use it smartly, which means that you don't use AI at all for going ahead and actually creating facts or going ahead and revising facts, because facts a lot of times are very distorted in AI algorithms. What you can use AI for is to use GK flashcards for summarizing monthly news and for generating MCQs for self-testing. As I said, if you're making online notes, you can go ahead and put it on ChatGPT and ask them to create like an MCQ and flashcard for you so that you can revise it. I think that's a very good way of using AI, but you never use it for direct content, because accuracy is something that's really not the best in artificial intelligence. Now, another good way of using artificial intelligence is to give very good prompts. So something like creating a 10 one-line MCQ for this month's Indian Express editorial with answers. I think this is a very good prompt that can go ahead and ask AI to give a source to them, and then they can use only and only this source to make your answers. I think that brings the accuracy of the AI also to a very great extent on a very acceptable standards. Now, what are the things that we have to avoid when we are going ahead and doing our GK preparation? One important thing is that when we become very fanatic in our preparation, we try and do everything under the sun. We want to read too many sources, and that's something that causes a lot of fatigue. We want to absolutely avoid that. Don't read 5 newspapers, don't read 5 compendiums, only and only read 1 or 2 newspapers, 1 good compendium, and that you're done. What you can actually do to go ahead and augment your preparation is that you do annotate them well, go ahead and recall them. When you are doing these compendiums, don't go ahead and miss the context, which means that if you see something in a compendium and you think that you don't know about it, don't read it, don't leave it just like that. Actually go ahead to the internet and try and find what is the context to this fact and how can I use it, right? And the most important thing would be to go ahead and revise everything, right? When you're writing a lot of things, you don't revise them, and that is why if you ignore revision, that is something your entire effort has gone futile at that point of time, which means that doing lesser things and revising them better is a much better way than doing a lot of things and not revising them. That is why the template should be fewer resources, more depth, and daily habit. We have also gone ahead and accumulated common mistakes made by past aspirants, which is, again, as we've already stated, you spent months on PDFs but you couldn't retain them, or you went ahead and started your preparation too late. It gives you a sense of panic and you're not able to prepare that well. Again, don't do that. But also remember, these are aptitude based exams, which means that you don't need to go ahead and rote memory is not going to help you so much, and aptitude takes some time to go ahead and develop in you, right? Which is why GK necessarily should be daily and every day. You should not go ahead and absolutely miss it. But again, don't make too many notes, because then you don't end up revising them, and only focus on factual questions. What it can do is that you miss contextual ones, and again, context is very important. A lot of rote memory into isolated facts really does not help anyone. Moving on to how GK can help you in bringing synergy into all parts of this examination, because as I said earlier, GK does not only help in MCQ, it helps in so much more. So in part A, your reading comprehension passages, they often use GK based themes. Your critical reasoning arguments, they rely on social and political knowledge. In general, aptitude helps you go ahead and answer part A passages better in the same place. But also in part B, as I said earlier, essays on governance, equality, rights, policy, these are all things that you can go ahead and augment with editorial reading. This is something that GK becomes the backbone for all of these essays, and that is why going ahead and having a good GK preparation is an absolute non-negotiable for NLSAT prep. So we've also included an example essay, something like social media regulation and free speech. This is something that you can obviously find in so many editorials, but almost all essays in part B also come from editorials, and they have something that anything that you've read in an editorial is something that can help you write that essay in a much more better way. And that is why, again, GK is completely and absolutely important. We've created for your benefit a sample week plan. You can go through it. Obviously, you can go ahead and make some tweaks and changes in it as to what suits you better. but again, this is something that you can look forward to. Obviously, dedicate different themes for different days, and always go ahead and keep the weekend for revision, because you need to go ahead and revise everything at the end of week. Do not go ahead and leave revision for the end of the year, because that makes things extremely overwhelming. We don't want to do that. Going ahead and doing weekly revision is something that is especially encouraged. With that, we have final takeaways. Understand patterns, don't memorize facts, read fewer sources deeply, maintain short recurring notes, revise weekly, and use AI and compendiums only as supplements and only in a way that can only augment your research that you've already done. Don't use them as primary sources. With that, we come to the end of this session. Go ahead and watch the other videos to have a much deeper understanding of the paper, but obviously go ahead and subscribe to the channel also. Thank you.